Hey guys, welcome back. Unfortunately, I am re-recording this video. So, essentially, I did the last video, Eve of Destruction, and I went without a hitch. There wasn't too many issues. I didn't struggle too much on the waves before, or bail for that matter. It took a bit, but it wasn't that hard of a fight. And we won. I went through all the endgame stuff, showing all my stats and whatnot. We got this belt, that was the only real equipment change. And then it turned out my recording didn't work properly. So essentially I wasted my time and cleared normal without recording it, essentially. So unfortunately, we're about a level ahead than where we used to be, I believe. But for the sake of completion on this playthrough, I am going to run Bale again. The only difference is, I guess there won't be the end portal at the end and that sort of shtick, but I'm sure you guys can get over it. So, like I said, we're about one level ahead. I put a point into Lightning Sentry. That's about the only change. I got this belt instead. And yeah, so let's just run this back. So, kind of upsetting that I lost the playthrough, but it was just, I think this is the first time it actually has happened, so of all the times for bad things to happen, I guess the very end isn't the worst. So, we'll just go again. Let's see, what was stuff that I talked about in the last one? Oh, I think I questioned in the previous video what the point is for leveling up Death Sentry, if it's just a worse Lightning Sentry. The corpse explosion radius increases as you level it, so that is one of the reasons to level it, although you still, from what I was reading, you still level Lightning Sentry first. So, we're just going to run this back. Probably end up getting another level and end up at 32 like my paladin. It's destiny, I guess. Most of the fights didn't really go that badly. My Merc and Summon died a lot on the Act 3 wave, the Council wave, which is to be expected. There's a lot of Hydras, and Bartek the Bloody is lightning enchanted, so no real surprise there. I kept up the pattern of making stupid mistakes against the Pit Lord guys, and I almost trapped myself in a corner while under the effects of the Bale's Weaken, or whatever the slow curse is, the blue one over your head. So that was almost awkward, although I didn't really get trapped so much as I walked into a corner and it was awkward through the slow. And then Minions of Destruction, I didn't rubber band like my poor paladin did. I essentially just went down the central hallway and just walked back and forth with the traps in a column and just shot them all in a big line. The Bale fight itself, I decided to stick with Lightning Sentry. I was reading that Charge Bolt can shotgun blast units, like you can hit the same target more than once. But from the way I was reading it, it sounded harder to accomplish than just using Lightning Sentry, so decided to go for the easier but perhaps slightly less efficient if I set the charge bolts perfectly. I'd probably get a bit more damage, but I didn't sweat it. I just used Lightning Sentry. Our Merc made it pretty far into the fight. I think he went till like Bale was at maybe a quarter health before he died. And then from there on in, I just relied on summoning my Merc over and over again to stand in the way while my turrets did all the work, so yeah, it wasn't really that difficult of a fight. I'm not hiding great shame or something. I didn't DC like like I totally did purposely against those ancients in the last video. But no, pretty laid back fight. I was saying at the end of the video that this character was a lot easier and I felt a lot faster than my paladin clearing through I think this is gonna end up being like 4 less videos, 3 less videos, something like that. And I think the videos on average have been shorter as well. That's just because as a zealot you don't really have AoE options, and so you're pretty limited to like literally beating everything to death with your, not your bare hands, but with a stick. So yeah, it shouldn't be that surprising that this turned out to be a faster playthrough. Most of the act bosses outside of Duriel, the main worry is elemental damage, and this character had better elemental resists. My paladin by comparison had like way better defense and attack rating, but obviously he needed the attack rating. But Fade essentially lets you cheat through normal and have max resists all the time, so that made the act boss fights relatively easy. What else? Our defense is lower, but we don't need to be in melee, so that's kind of a canceling out effect. And yeah, just overall, we probably dealt more damage. At the very least, we did more damage in AoE. That's definitely for certain. So that's just something that is true, though, in Diablo in general. Caster characters don't rely on gear, so... well, they don't rely on gear as heavily, as quickly, I should say. So it shouldn't be that surprising that a normal Southbound playthrough, the caster character ended up going through things faster. So not really any shocking changes there, but either way, it's nice to talk about. I am just going to keep putting points into it and leveling Lightning Sentry. So what else? If this character went into Nightmare, I should probably start leveling Strength and Dex maybe. Although I don't think Trappers actually need that much in general. Of course, as a Self-Found character, I think I harp on this over and over again, you don't really know what your Strength and Dex is going to be. That's the benefit of having a fully laid out character, is you know, oh, let's see, what's my highest strength requirement piece, and what gems are or what plus stats do I get from my equipment itself, and what charms will I need, and all that sort of stuff. And you can kind of map out how much strength and dex you need. We weren't caring about block chance. That is something that sometimes can be a little tricky to map out, because you're like, well, do I want max block all the time, or only when I hit like level 80 or something like that. But either way, what I'm saying is, unless you know exactly what gear you're gonna be wearing, tuning in your strength and dexterity is always a bit of a toss-up. Luckily you have respecs now, so you can just change, you can like dip further into strength and dex than you might need, and then just scale back the points later, that kind of thing. So let's see, we are here at the throne. I'm gonna want to clear this hallway as much as I can, because for the Act 4 and possibly Act 5 waves, I'm going to want to run around back here. It just is useful to kite units. Minions of destruction are not particularly fast, so it's not even that difficult to do. You can clear out this room here. And actually, I might go back right now and just restock up on potions. I did remember to do antidotes and thawing potions for the Bale fight. Our resistances were pretty nearly maxed in all categories. So these first few waves were really easy, because as you can see, it turns out traps are pretty good at killing people who are coming in a specific spot. Who would have thunk? It's almost as if they're traps. My sarcasm aside, yeah, these first few waves are very easy. I start putting down corpse explosion traps on these waves. Like before, our Merc is not long for this world against these waves, because there's kind of like a 1-2 punch here that's unfortunate for them. They tend to get let's run Bartek here through the gauntlet. They tend to get poisoned by the Act 2 guys with their poison breath, and then so they're losing health, and then they go up against all the lightning enchant and the hydras and whatnot, and they kind of get bursted to death. So, did we kill him? No, okay. So down he goes. Now we have the Venom Lord guys to deal with, which I'm going to stand way back here so that they don't all immediately aggro onto me. And yes, this is called playing like a bitch. And I have no shame in doing it. Can't make me feel shame. So how I screwed that up the last time was I walked up into this corner and kind of got trapped. So, whoops, cast corpse explosion as much as I can, and then this is my general strategy for dealing with these guys. So I just ran up and down here and then tried to stall them out with my summon. Which, for all intents and purposes, worked pretty well. You essentially just lined them up and then let our traps do the work. And these guys, of course, give wonderful amounts of XP. That's why we got to 31 last time. And there we go. So, that is the throne room handled. Now we can just go back to town. Get rid of some of these charms. We're going to want to summon her again. Revive our Merc. So what I did last time is I did 2 columns of rejuves and 2 columns of mana potions. Although I did have to start I started to feed my Merc healing potions from my inventory, which was kind of annoying. So I think I might hold on to a few in my belt this time. Let's see. Can drop these. I'm gonna want a bunch of these. I'm just gonna fill my inventory, drink a whole bunch of them. There we go. There we go. And then a few more. Okay. So this should be good. like I said, I'm just gonna use lightning sentry, just because it's probably easier that way. And yeah, let's go, shall we? So our resistances are actually maxed out now, like even more than they should be able to. Fortunately, our Shadow Master lady is laying down her own traps. She's screwing with our own. And we're just going to keep healing our Merc buddy. He seems to need it. We can't heal our Shadow Master, but we can just keep resummoning her, so it's less important. Ow. Don't hit me, bro. Okay, and yeah, this is pretty much how the fight went last time. We had to heal up our Merc a bit. We weren't really taking many hits ourselves. Because we were just standing away, because honestly our contributions to the fight, melee-wise, is probably nothing to write home about. So why bother risking it? Just keep healing our Merc. He's doing God's work. He hasn't been summoning his illusions. Bale, that is. So, not sure what's up with that, but whatever. You don't want to confuse our traps, that's your prerogative, guy. And down he goes. Puking up his guts and whatever. And down he goes. So, like I said, unfortunately, because I finished the quest in the last one, Tyrael doesn't show up. And we don't get the option to go to the end screen, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? So I'm just gonna sell real quick and wrap up by going over our items and whatnot. So let's see, nothing important here. Life is nice, but that's about it. Okay, so let's see. This was our inventory. We had a lot of runes that we didn't really put to use. This was from the last time we killed Bale. I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep that. I have a bunch of gems that you can, you get rid of these chips and whatnot. What else? This was our stat panel. So last time we finished at 31, now we're at 32, almost 33. This is our strength, although we have a bunch of items that are giving us strength. Our dexterity was 55 base with a bunch of charms for it. Our life, our mana. These are our resists, but you keep in mind these are our resists with Fade on, which was our buff of choice, so pretty much maxed. Poison's less important. And this is our gear. Feel free to just pause if you want to read it all. overall, I was pretty happy with our gear this playthrough. Only thing I would change is it would have been nice to find a 3-socket shield to just make Ancient's Pledge. Again, not really necessary because our resists were maxed out anyways, but if we were to take this character into Nightmare, it would have been really nice because then we probably would have been close to max again. Considering we would get like an extra 30 in all resists, which is pretty much, I don't know how far over max we are with Fade on, but either way. We had this switch, but this is essentially just to hold on to gear. These were our charms. Again, there's a bunch I would get rid of here. Like, I would get rid of these extra fire damage charms and whatnot. Probably this defense thing too, but since I found so few that were really noteworthy this playthrough, you might as well just keep all of them, because you don't need that much inventory space when you're selectively grabbing stuff. I don't know if we ended up with more gold in this playthrough. Probably, because we didn't have to repair as much. The only things I would probably have changed, yeah, like I said, Ancient's Pledge here. A weapon would have been cool, but since we're on normal and the main things casters use weapons for is like plus to skills and stuff, it was really unlikely we were going to find something to give us plus to assassin skills or plus to whatever, so I would say this is pretty close to perfect. Obviously there's like, you know, the numbers could be better. I could have found a set or something, but I think almost everything here gives either resist, life, or mana, so what else do you want? Let's see, these are our skills, nothing in martial arts. Pretty much one in everything but venom, which is pretty normal for a trap sin. I put points into Fade because again we don't have plus to skills. If you knew you had guaranteed plus to skills, you might not put points into Fade this early. And traps, again, just went down pretty normally and started pumping Lightning Sentry once we unlocked Death Sentry. So overall, nothing crazy build-wise. Items were good. I mean, these are respectable resists base, and then add in the fact that we had Fade. And we were pretty ridiculous. We probably, if we had Ancient's Pledge, we probably would have been good for Nightmare as far as resists are concerned. In any case, this is our character. It's done. Level 32 is where we finished on Eris here. So, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm not sure what I'll end up doing next. If I'll do another normal hardcore playthrough, if I'll take someone through Nightmare. I know I have been in the talks with people to do a co-op playthrough. I don't know if I'll record that or not. But either way, definitely will be more Diablo content in the future, just because it's very likely I'll be returning to this game, as I think I said in the first playthrough, and we're already on the second one. So, would not be surprised if I do multiple playthroughs after this. It would be cool to do one of each class, I think, just so that everyone gets a bit of a feeling for what it is to play them all. I'm not an expert at all the classes by any means, which I think I showcased in this playthrough by not knowing certain things. But that is this playthrough done. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you guys in the next ones. Take care.